Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into Conversations Worth Having, a transformative guide that unlocks the potential of communication in various aspects of life. The 2018 book strikes at the heart of our daily conversations and explores how engaging more productively at work, in our relationships, and within the community can lead to significant improvement in organizations and personal lives. Authors Stavros and Cheri Torres illustrate this through an array of real-life stories, enriched with the science-backed principle of appreciative inquiry. This approach to dialogue emphasizes a positive perspective and the importance of asking the right questions to foster effective communication. Stavros brings over 3 decades of expertise in leadership, organizational development, and change management to the table. She is not only a seasoned professor at Lawrence Technological University, but also an acclaimed co-author of multiple works, including Learning to Soar. Accompanying her is Cheri Torres, a CEO adept at strengthening relationships and enhancing productivity through impactful conversation strategies. Torres, having worked with countless leaders and teams globally, contributes a practical insight that complements Stavros's academic prowess. Her work has been highlighted in premier publications such as Careers in Government, Forbes, and Training Magazine. Conversations Worth Having is essential reading for leaders eager to connect with their teams to achieve top-tier results, for parents and teachers who aspire to see their children thrive, and indeed, for anyone who seeks to enrich the tone and trajectory of their conversations. Join us as we explore the power and technique of conversation that can pave the way to a more harmonious and effective future. Conversations Worth Having. Using appreciative inquiry to fuel productive and meaningful engagement. Introduction. Unlocking the power of positive dialogue with appreciative inquiry. Picture this. You're at work, sifting through your daily tasks, when a colleague strikes up a conversation. This isn't just idle chatter. It's a conversation that sparks inspiration, infuses energy into your day, and shifts your perspective to one of possibility. This, right here, is the power of a conversation worth having. For many, conversations are just part of life's white noise, background hums that fill our days. However, what if I told you that every exchange of words holds the potential to be transformative, to reshape our realities, and forge connections that herald personal and collective growth? At the crux of this potential is a tool known as appreciative inquiry, a technique that holds the key to unleashing the dynamic force of positive dialogue. Appreciative inquiry isn't just a fancy term. It's a practiced approach that allows us to reconstruct our interactions by focusing on the affirmative. It's about discovering the best in people, their organizations, and the strengths-filled, opportunity-rich world around them. By employing this method, we initiate conversations that not only serve to address issues, but do so in a way that bolsters well-being and productivity, and nurtures connections that are deep and enduring. Now, let's delve into the mechanics of this transformative tool, shall we? At its heart, appreciative inquiry calls upon us to reframe our perspective, to dodge the obstacles of negative thinking, and instead erect signposts that guide us towards constructive conversation. Consider a situation where you're tackling a problem. The natural inclination might be to dissect the issue, to delve into what's going wrong. Appreciative inquiry, however, encourages you to flip this approach on its head. Instead of honing in on the problems, you focus on what's working. You identify the moments of brilliance and the pockets of success, no matter how small. This flip isn't about ignoring the challenges. It's about approaching them from an angle that builds rather than breaks. And why do some educators seem to work magic in the classroom, leaving an indelible mark on their students? It's because they employ this very principle of appreciative inquiry in their teaching, seeking to uncover and build upon the unique strengths and passions of each student. This principle posits that we expand in the direction of what we focus on. Therefore, by centering our attention on strengths, possibilities, and what is desired, we magnify their presence in our lives. To begin harnessing this potent tool, we first need to become aware of the secret influences that pervade every conversation. The words we select, the stories we share, the questions we ask, all these weave together the fabric of our conversations. But there's an art to this weaving, a method to the selection of threads, 2 techniques, and 5 guiding principles that guarantee our dialogue is proactive, life-affirming, and indeed, a conversation worth having. Stay tuned as we unravel these techniques and principles, and ready yourself for a journey that will change the way you talk and listen forever. Part 1. Steering conversations toward positive outcomes. Let's enter the world of Alicia Patel, a healthcare professional shouldering the responsibility of lifting the spirits at a medical center that's been drenched in negativity. Complaints are bubbling over, morale is at a low, and the staff are gasping for a breath of hope. Can Alicia, armed with the right words and approach, transform the dreary atmosphere into one of optimism and progress? The answer lies in the delicate dance of conversation types. Before Appreciative Inquiry opened Alicia's eyes, her meetings were like many others, a heavy cloud of blame and exasperation, leaving everyone feeling more bogged down than before. Imagine walking into a room to hear, "We're failing again, worse than last time. What are you all even doing?" Imagine being on the receiving end, the sting of those words, the crushing weight of hopelessness. This is the essence of a depreciative conversation, where motivation wanes and creativity wilters. However, the Alicia of today operates on a different frequency. With appreciative inquiry as her compass, she creates space for dialogue that uplifts, that uncovers hidden gems amidst the turmoil. "Tell me," she now asks, "about the things we do right, about the patients who leave our wards smiling." Through genuine curiosity, Alicia tunes the conversation away from fault-finding and towards celebrating successes no matter how small. What happens next is nothing short of alchemy. The nurses, disarmed by her approach, began weaving a tapestry of what's working instead of stewing in what isn't. They unearth patterns of excellence already present within their routine, creating a blueprint for better patient satisfaction. The aura of the meeting shifts. It's palpable. Triumph replaces defeat, and the change is immediate. One nurse captures it perfectly. "I feel a shift. Things will get better, I'm certain of it." Such is the transformative power of a conversation worth pursuing. To reach this point, Alicia had to become an astute navigator of conversational icebergs, those mammoth masses of unseen influences that guide our interactions. They hide beneath the surface, these silent shapers of dialogue, our biases, our stress, our dreams, all steering the ship of conversation, often without our knowledge. Forgo this awareness, and, like the ill-fated Titanic, you may find your relational vessel sinking into icy waters. Transforming depreciative exchanges into constructive ones requires tuning in to these unseen undercurrents with a technique as simple as it is powerful. Pause, breathe, and get curious. When faced with the urge to condemn or criticize, take a momentary pause. In the silence that follows, draw in a deep, calming breath. This breath is your anchor, easing the stress and bringing you back to solid ground. But don't stop there. Ignite your curiosity. Shine a light on the submerged part of the iceberg. Ask the bigger questions. Challenge your assumptions. Explore unknown territory and acknowledge the emotions stirring within you. This isn't just thinking on your feet, it's thinking with intention, steering the conversation towards the enlightening shore of appreciative inquiry. These steps are the seeds from which constructive dialogues grow. In the chapters to come, we'll nurture these seeds as we delve deeper into appreciative inquiry, the principles that shape it, and most importantly, how they can shape your conversations into ones that truly matter. Stay tuned, for the art of conversation is about to get a whole lot brighter. Part 2: Shaping Perspectives with Questions and a Positive Outlook. When Jerry Sternin arrived in Vietnam with a mission to combat childhood malnutrition, clock in hand and traditional solutions out of reach, he stumbled upon a breakthrough with the power of a single question. Are there healthy children here? This wasn't just any question, it was generative, the kind that opens doors to unexplored territory and uncovers treasures hidden in plain sight. Generative questions, catalysts for transformation within the method of appreciative inquiry, are designed to add extraordinary value. They prompt the revelation of different ways of thinking. They unite people through shared vision, and they spark the creation of actionable knowledge, awakening the potential for what could be. Just as Jerry Sternin discovered nutritious practices within the Vietnamese community, catapulting him towards sustainable change, so too can generative questions pivot any conversation from stagnation to evolution. They mark the beginning of a journey into expanded knowledge and possibility. Imagine this practice applied to the classic tug of war between a mother and her teenage son over the car keys. Instead of the standard wearisome negotiations, Monica asks, "How can we both win out of this situation?" Suddenly, what once was a battlefield becomes a boardroom of collaboration, with generative questions serving as the gavel, ushering in mutually beneficial outcomes. But generative questions alone aren't the full essence of appreciative inquiry. They are twined with the concept of positive framing. Take Mark, a company manager, and Melissa, his punctually challenged employee. Before his instruction in appreciative inquiry, Mark might have approached Melissa with a straight shot of criticism. "Your tardiness is unacceptable," would have been his depreciative opening salvo, likely inviting resistance and resentment. However, equipped with the art of positive framing, Mark employs a different strategy. His approach commences with a three-step flip, transforming a negative situation into a positively focused conversation. First, he defines the problem: Melissa's consistent lateness. The positive opposite of this issue: Melissa arriving on time, ace punctuality in hand. What good arises from this scenario? A sensation of solidarity within the team, sharpened performance, trust on the upswing. Starting from a place of appreciation, Mark opens the dialogue by lauding the virtues of teamwork and dependability. He nurtures a positive atmosphere before broaching the tender subject of Melissa's tardiness, all whilst anchoring the team's shared values. The pivotal question, "What's tricky about Wednesday mornings for you?" illuminates Melissa's childcare challenges, leading to a simple and efficient fix. Mark's masterful use of positive framing coupled with insightful questioning turns a potential conflict into a tale of resolution and harmony. The brush with which appreciative inquiry paints these scenes is composed of bristles that are both generative and positive. The canvas is the conversation, and the masterpiece is the outcome, one that is co-designed, co-owned, and enriched with the promise of something greater. With the cornerstones of appreciative inquiry, generative questions, and positive framing firmly in place, we shift our focus to the next piece of the puzzle. Stay tuned as we venture into the territory of 5 guiding principles, each strategically placed to guide conversations on the path to being truly worthwhile. Part 3: The 5 pillars of appreciative inquiry that shape our experiences. Dive into the story of Jamal, a 7th grade student navigating through contrasting experiences with 2 distinct teachers. Jamal is a typical preteen. He's occasionally disengaged and has moments of misbehavior in class. Yet, his encounters with Miss Whittet in social studies and Miss Summers in English couldn't be more different. Where he flourishes with the former, he flounders with the latter. Let's examine why, through the lens of 5 foundational principles integral to appreciative inquiry. Miss Whittet, embracing Jamal's antics as attempts at peer connection and a unique form of focus anchors her approach in positive communication. She expresses tolerance and nurtures Jamal's strengths, asking generative questions that spotlight his triumphs rather than his slip-ups. Miss Summers carries different convictions. Stemming from a strict upbringing that equated discipline with success, she focuses on correcting what she perceives to be Jamal's adverse behavior. Her conversations revolve around rectifying these so-called problems. Both educators share a dedication to Jamal's well-being, yet they approach him through diverging worldviews that are presented within Appreciative Inquiry's first principle, the constructionist principle. Our constructed reality, based on past experiences, shapes how we perceive and engage in our interactions. Thus, understanding this principle urges us to hold our perspectives lightly and remain amenable to change. Next comes the simultaneity principle, which asserts the instant and lasting transformation our words can wield. Every spoken word is a ripple in the pond of the human mind, impacting the listener and reshaping their reality in real time. This power underscores Jamal's differing reactions in his two classes and teaches us to choose our words with conscious intent. On the heels of simultaneity is the poetic principle, which invites us to view individuals and situations through diverse lenses, just as we might interpret poetry. Jamal's clowning is seen as either a social tool or a disruption, depending on the beholder's poetic choice. Appreciating the multiplicity of interpretations empowers us to be deliberate in our perspective. Then we approach the anticipatory principle, suggesting that our conversations take shape from our expectations. In expecting behavioral issues, Miss Summers encounters them. Where Miss Whitted expects strengths and interests, she finds them. Our expectations are self-fulfilling prophecies that mold our conversational goals. Finally, there is the positive principle which proposes that the positivity of our questions correlates with the potential for positive, enduring outcomes. Ms. Whitted's success in engaging Jamal stems from framing her inquiries in affirmations and possibilities, demonstrating the impact of a positively poised question. As we near the end of our exploration, prepare to gather practical tools that intertwine the 5 principles of appreciative inquiry with real-world applications across work, family, and community. Stay tuned, for we will delve into techniques that are not just theoretical musings, but actionable strategies for crafting conversations, and consequently, experiences that are treasured and transformative. Part 4. Embracing the gift of positive engagement in every aspect of life. At the very essence of our shared human experience lies the art of conversation, a dance of words and emotions that shapes our family life, defines our workplace dynamics, and stitches together the fabric of our communities. As we have ventured through various stories demonstrating the prowess of appreciative inquiry, let's gather one final poignant tale that encompasses the reach of this life-altering approach. This story unfolds around the author Jackie Stavros' daughter, Allie, during a time when her world teetered on the brink of uncertainty. Her family's vacation halted abruptly with her father's diagnosis of stage 4 lymphoma. The once joy-filled holiday transformed into a cycle of hospital visits and residing with relatives, piercing Allie's heart with questions about the future. One question in particular gripped her. Is Dad going to die? Her mother, with grace and honesty, replied not with platitudes, but with an invitation to stay positive and cherish the present, laying the groundwork for a most remarkable exchange between mother and daughter. In a moment, teetering between despair and the unknown, Allie's mom crafted a generative question that served as a beacon of positivity. What's your favorite memory with Dad? It was this gentle prompt that allowed Allie to wade through the tumult of her emotions and land ashore the happier times spent with her father, particularly their serene moments watching the sunset from the porch. The solution offered by her mom, for Allie to observe the evening skyline while her mom did the same beside her dad's hospital bed, was simple yet profound. It formed a quiet nexus of connection, a shared experience amidst the chaos. Ultimately, Ali's father recovered, and the resilience forged in that moment of shared sunsets remains a cornerstone of Ali's appreciative mindset, one she carries into every chapter of her life. The essence of this narrative is that appreciative inquiry is not confined to boardrooms or classrooms. It is universally applicable, an approach that can enliven, enlighten, and elevate our everyday lives. So, when you find yourself at a crossroad of frustration, whether it's with self-imposed criticisms, a static routine with your partner, a child's defiance, or a colleague's missteps, remember to pause and refocus the lens through which you view these interactions. Challenge yourself to ask, how might I be more productive tomorrow? To kindle a chat inspired by reminiscences of thrilling date nights. To inquire with care and curiosity why the current curfew doesn't align with your child's needs, and to embolden your team to spotlight their strengths and successes. Each conversation is an opportunity, a chance to weave a new thread into the tapestry of your relationships. With appreciative inquiry as your guide, every interaction becomes not just an exchange of words, but a canvas for a masterpiece, painted with the vibrant hues of positivity, possibility, and connection. We are the sum of our conversations. May each one you have be truly, deeply worth having. Final summary. In our journey of discovery, we've uncovered the transformative magic of appreciative inquiry, a symphony of positive framing and generative questioning that can fundamentally reshape our conversations and our world. It begins with attuning to the invisible currents that shape our interactions, discerning the unseen influences that often steer our dialogue into treacherous waters. By adopting an appreciative lens, we're empowered to reframe situations favorable, turning challenges into platforms for growth and engaging with others in a manner that brings out their best contributions. Generative questions become our beacons of change, helping to navigate through the complexities of human dynamics and foster profound connections. It's a process that is simple in concept, yet profound in practice, with the potential to revolutionize not only our personal exchanges, but also to spill over into all aspects of our lives. From the deeply personal recesses of family life, to the structured environment of the workplace, and even into the broader strokes of community interaction. So, as we draw this summary to a close, remember that your words are not just sounds lost in the wind. They are powerful tools for construction or destruction. Choose to build, choose to inspire, and choose to transform. The results of embracing appreciative inquiry are indeed surprising, often far-reaching, and always, without fail, worth it. Every conversation is an opportunity. Seize it, shape it, and share it. Your world is waiting to be changed. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.